What do you recall about your financial life before the Great Recession?
I feel like your dad and I, were building up our finances. We were both working hard, trying to save money and stay atop of all the bills.
Had you experienced economic hardships prior to 2007?
Not as a husband and wife, but you know, as I grew up, I knew that um, money was not abundant. So I had never asked for expensive things. I never expected expensive things. I was happy to have non-name brand items and didn't have much need for that stuff. After college, I was on my own and had to learn how to spend my money wisely, which might have taken me a few paychecks to figure that out, um, but not any real financial hardships. No.
What were your first feelings or emotions after learning about this severe economic situation?
I was sad. Throughout those years, I was sad because I saw a lot of people affected by it.
What happened to your extended family, friends, and neighbors during the Great Recession? How did this impact you?
Well, I was impacted a lot. Because I had a brother-in-law who lost his job um, and had to find other work. But I was really affected twofold. I am a teacher, so I had a lot of students whose families had lost jobs, parents had lost jobs, and they were forced to move. I had some students that had to move their senior year, which is pretty stressful as that goes. Um, some that had to sell their homes or lost their homes. I've had students over the years because of that have been homeless. Um, the number of students on free and reduced lunches went up a great deal, but also because I'm a nurse, I had a lot of people calling me to ask about nursing school. Because one good thing about nursing school is they always need nurses. So many people were out of work, engineers and things like that, going back to school to become a nurse. There was a 1 year program where if you already had your degree, you could go to nursing school for 1 year instead of the 4 years it took me and get your nursing degree. And so a lot of people switched professions at that time.
How did you feel about financial bailout given to the banking industry?
Um, I was nervous because I feel like the government's giving money when the government's already in debt. So how are they bailing out companies with what money? And but we needed a rebound of the economy. So I knew they were also bailing out the big three automobile companies, which is many people's livelihood around here. So um, I was saying a prayer that it worked out for the best.
What do you believe is our nation's greatest economic concern?
Spending. I think our government spends too much on things that we don't necessarily need to. And we need to learn how to rein that in and have a balanced budget. And I think it's the same values we have as a family. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. And as a country, I feel like we should do the same thing. We shouldn't be in debt as a country. We should figure out how to be financially stable and not overspend and not give what we don't have. So I think that's probably a lesson learned for many people.
What do you believe should be done to protect the people from economic problems?
I guess further education and helping people understand how important it is to save money because hard times can hit at any time. So if you spend and spend and spend and never have a savings or a cushion to fall back on, and those hard times hit, then they hit even harder. So it's smart, and I'll tell you this now, it's smart for you as soon as you get your first job to start saving money. put a percentage of your income away every month, and when the hard times hit, which they always do, you'll have some comfort to know that it will last longer than other people.
What lessons should be learned from the Great Recession?
Um, I think just that. But I also think that it's important to pick a profession that you know is going to be one you can make money at. And many people go to school for things like religious studies or um, psychology or things like that. But the hard fact is that they don't have a lot of jobs in those professions and they don't make a lot of money. And it's really tough to stay afloat with that kind of a degree. And degrees cost a lot of money these days. So don't go to school for something you can't pay your school debt back or you can't make a living at. Find a profession like engineering or nursing or something that's going to be substantial and that you can actually pay the bills.
How has the Great Recession changed you?
I think just thinking about what you spend. Everybody should think about what they spend. Do we need it? It's like that assignment you guys have when you were little. Is it want or is it a need? And really, what do you want and what can you do without? And what do you need? Do you have to have a bigger house? Do you have to have the coolest shoes and the most expensive soccer ball and the coolest cleats? Or can you still play a good season and have the cleats that don't cost quite so much? So just kind of looking at your life and realizing that the value doesn't come from the money that you're spending. The value comes from the family bond and the time you spend together. And look at, we've been so blessed with our big family and blessed with our extended family in the neighborhood, our 5 family get-togethers, that's really our fun. That's really our magic in life. It's not the magic of the soccer cleats that you want or the beats that you want to wear on your head or whatever. They're fun for the moment and then they fade. Family doesn't fade, right?
What is your full name?
Wendy Lee Dungan Laramie.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mount Clemens, Michigan. Born and raised.
How old were you in 2009?
Ooh, let's see. I was 38.